friends, how's everyone doing? I'm doing well, although at the moment I'm a little frustrated. My sweet husband bought me lights, like real lights, and then also a camera for Christmas to film on. Right now I film on my iPhone, which works really well, but I thought a camera would be a nice way to like take the level up a little bit. And I filmed a video, this video that I'm doing on my phone now, on the camera, and the sound quality is terrible. I need a microphone. And I didn't realize that. Of course, we read the reviews before we bought the camera, and people did say that it needed a microphone for better sound, but others were like it was fine, so we took a chance. Oh well, in any case, one of these days I'm gonna get to be like super like organized and lit well and have a great camera. Because let me tell you, I need to light this face. I am getting old. Let's get to today's video. Today's video is on the book Wildflower by Ashley Kay. It's the second book in her Montana Heirs series. I read and did a video on the first book, Denim Blues. Ashley's an author that I connected with on TikTok, and she did send me Denim Blues and Wildflower. I'm such a fan of hers. I love being able to discover new authors. TikTok has been amazing as far as all of that goes. I just need more hours in the day to be able to read. So I was very excited to be able to read Wildflower. I will of course include my video on Denim Blues below, but if you'll remember, Denim Blues was about Savvy and Preston. Preston and Grayson are twins. They own a outdoor survivalist company in Montana called, SOS. I can't remember what the acronym stands for. In any case, Savvy works at SOS, which is how she met Preston. And then of course, Isaac, who is in this book, Wildflower, works at SOS as well. SOSOL. And then Lynn, who's in this book, is Savvy's best friend. That seemed kind of confusing the way I said it. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Again, this is the second time I have filmed no video, so I feel like I've said things that I've already said, and I did, but not on here. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna get it together, I promise. So Wildflower is about Isaac and Lynn. Lynn, I liked right away in Denim Blues. So I was excited to know that this Wildflower was about her. It seemed very fitting. And let me tell you, when Ashley put the Easter egg in there about Isaac and Lynn, you felt the heat like immediately between them. And that certainly carried over. So I was excited to kind of dive in and see what Ashley had in store for them. Lynn is such a great girl. Like, I really liked her. She is a chef. She owns her own restaurant down in Florida. She's from Montana. She's from the town where SOS is. Her and Savvy are childhood best friends. We know, as always, because we all do, Lynn brings some baggage to her adult life about her childhood, and that is why she kind of escaped and went to move to Florida to get away from it all and just start anew. But she comes back to see Savvy and her dad, and little spoiler, because if you haven't read Denim Blues, I can't get around this, is that Savvy and Preston are getting married, and Lynn is of course the maid of honor and is coming back into town to help Savvy with the wedding. Isaac works, like I said, at SOS. We got little glimpses in Denim Blues about him. He is a man of very few words. In fact, I thought about it, and he's one of the characters that there's not many others that have less to say than Isaac that I can remember reading. Everything Isaac said was so, the way Ashley writes him, you just can envision this. There's Macy. You can just envision this tall, dark, handsome kind of wilderness guy. And he just doesn't speak to speak. When he speaks, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I was excited to hear what else he had to say. When he spoke up, I definitely paid notice. Now, the book is dual perspective, so we get a lot of him. You know, it's not like there's no chapters from his perspective. There is, but just he's very thoughtful in what he says. And I really liked that about him. And I also took notice because they all talk about how he's not just like the talkative guy. Right away, in the very beginning of the book, we are reminded of their chemistry. And this is what they say about each other. This is a conversation between Savvy and Isaac about Lynn. My confusion is still apparent because she throws her hands up in the air. Isaac, you and her shared a look across the dance floor. Everyone saw it. A look? As soon as the words pass my lips, I remember. Tall, ginger, legs for days, sexy. Oh, yeah. That's it? Oh, yeah? I just shrug. No way I'm telling her that I remember Lynn. I don't need her trying to set us up. I spent several weeks after seeing her across the dance floor, dreaming and thinking about nothing else but her, and finally, she left my head. I didn't get to meet her officially, but it didn't take a genius to know she's trouble. The good kind of trouble. The trouble I couldn't get into no matter how much I wanted to. That reasoning still applies today. And then a little bit later, it's for the best. She's got fire and life and passion oozing out of her pores, and it's something I'll never get to have in mine. Okay, and then from Lynn, the insanely beautiful stranger finally stands up, and if I was speechless before, I'm now mute. Then it hits me where I know him from. 2 years ago, barn dance, heated glances across a crowded dance floor, his pouty lips on a beer, the casual way he leaned on the wall like he owned it, and all the air around it. I never talked to him. I didn't get the chance. It was the night things fell apart for Savvy and Preston, and I left 2 days later before I could ask about him. Now I wish I had. The word slut, whore, and homewrecker filters through my mind. I shut them up and move on. I knew this was going to be good because I felt all of that. And those are early chapters. Like I said, they both have baggage, so to speak, the drama that Ashley writes about their lives and where they are in their lives, the things they've carried with them since their childhood and such. All of that gets dredged up again when Lynn comes back into town. That created very difficult years for Lynn, and she just couldn't wait to get away from it. Isaac is not from the town, he's hiding in the town. We do know why, and you couldn't help but feel for him. And there was something really interesting in a word that Ashley used, that when she used it, and she says it later in the book, it's from Isaac's perspective, but he says it later in the book, it was like a light bulb moment, and the word is penance. Isaac is living his life in penance. And you couldn't help but understand where he was coming from and have your heart hurt for him so much. Ashley writes some really great dialogue and lines from these two. It's not all heavy. There's a lot of heavy and a lot of emotion, but there's also some really funny moments, and I'd like to share some of those with you. Lynn says, "My words rush out like a stay-at-home mom's uncorked wine." That's pretty funny, right? And then the next one is from Lynn as well. "Isaac is the king of mixed signals, the lord of confusing manner, and Sir fucks with my head a lot." And it was true. And then from Isaac, and it's very simple because again, he's a man of few words. "I need to stop staring at her." It was a funny line to me because he can't help being drawn to her, that whenever they're in a room together, he can't keep his eyes off her. His body responds to her. He's pulled to her. He's fighting it. He doesn't want to involve her in the crap he's got going on. But you know what? Sometimes Cupid has a plan in place, you know what I mean? And the great thing was that Lynn felt the same way. And I loved reading that from each of their perspectives. I just put up a video about the things that I love in romance, that happen in romance novels. The chase was number one. Let me tell you, this chase between these two was perfection. And amongst the funny stuff and the great banter between them. There's also really tender moments. And I loved Isaac, the kind of gentle giant that Ashley writes with him. The swoony moments really got to me as well, and there were several that I highlighted, of course, but this one stuck out to me. It's from Lynn's perspective. His hands, warm and gentle on my face, destroyed my insecurities and made me feel safe, protected. Oh, see, that is definitely Isaac. He is a protector, and you guys know I am a sucker for the protectors. I totally fell for Isaac. Hook, line, and sinker, right along with Lynn. So a little bit later, after Lynn says that, this is what Isaac says to her to kind of get her out of a situation. This was another thing that I just talked about in that video. I sound like I'm plugging it a lot. I guess I'm plugging that video twice now, but this was another thing that I love that happens in romance novels that I talked about in that video, and here it was in this book. Isaac says to Lynn, "Come dance with me. Let me help you forget about her." Well, who the F could say no to that? I can't and don't. See? I feel you, girl. I was like, yes, please. I'm on the dance floor too. I fell for him. I loved him. Oh my God, Isaac was just dreamy. There was a chapter in this book that, ooh, even now I get tears in my eyes thinking about. You know, you get to the part in the book where like wheels fall off the bus. I mean, we don't love these books because they're easy. The kind of romance novels that I like most of the time are the ones that make me dig deep in my emotions and are able to pull all the different emotions out of me. And chapter 10 in this book did that. I was literally, I had tears. It's from Isaac's perspective, and oh my gosh. And if you've read the book, you know what that chapter is about. And it just, like, even right now, my stomach is like, oof. It was a really heavy one, but so necessary for him. And I love that Ashley's writing made me feel that way. So like I said about the word penance, there was this other thing that Lynn says, and it really spoke volumes to how Ashley told their story to us and what they were both going through as characters and the journey she was taking us on. And it was so perfect for their story. Lynn says, "You can't be brave if you're not afraid first." Lynn has this attitude that like she can kick anyone's butt. Like she doesn't need anyone. She is a strong, fiery, independent woman all on her own. And yet she's coming up against these things that want to knock her down, people that want to take her down, people that want to take her business, people that don't want to see her succeed and want to put her under their thumb, people that are jealous. And here she has met this wonderful man who's got his own baggage. And they're both kind of afraid when they realize that like this could be something really real. And in life, often we get afraid when that kind of stuff happens to us too. But I thought it was so poignant and so simple and so perfect for this book and their story. You can't be brave unless you're afraid first. We do get a happily ever after at the end of this book, and I'm so excited. There was also a mention of book 3 already, and then I saw on her, was on her TikTok or on her one of her social media platforms, she talked about writing it. So I'm so excited to read book 3 when that comes out. Let me know if you have read Denim Blues or Wildflower by Ashley K. I would love to hear your thoughts. While you're here, I would love for you to consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up. Come join us here on my channel and hang out with us on a regular basis. And if you hit the bell, you'll also be notified when I upload a video. And then come over to my social media, which is Kat Reads Romance on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I also have a private Facebook group. Right now, I have a party going on in my Facebook group, guys. I've had over 30 authors stopping by this month. Wonderful authors, and I'm so thankful. that they are coming on this journey with me, celebrating my 3-year channelversary. So the links for all of that will be down in the description box below, so come hang out over there. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I will see you in my next one very soon. Bye.